Welcome to the Poundcast. First of all, Brent and I have an important announcement. We're coming to Appleton, Wisconsin, Chicago, and Louisville, Kentucky on a little mini tour in January 2022. That's right. Thursday, January 20th, we're going to be in Appleton, Wisconsin at the
Line.
Skyline Comedy Club. And then the next day, January 21st, we're at the Hideout in Chicago. Two shows, 7 o'clock and 9 o'clock. And finally, Saturday, the 22nd, we're going to be at Zanzibar in Louisville, Kentucky. You're not going to want to miss these shows.
Tickets are
This is
now.
once in a lifetime Yeah, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, right?
Tickets are on sale now, and these you can find the ticket links on our social media accounts, I guess, or we'll maybe put a link in the description of the episode
Yeah, you never know.
with all the links.
Or you can simply Google the venue.
Yeah,
And you'll find the link if
it's
you're web savvy at all.
it's that easy. And for the Hideout shows, proof of vaccination is required to go to the show. And for Appleton, for Skyline Comedy Club, Comedy Cafe, and Zanzibar and Louisville, proof of vaccination or proof of a negative COVID-19 test within 72 hours is required.
That'll get you in the door. So we'll see you there. Any other announcements that you
Well,
like to
yeah,
make?
some other dates to mention too. December 13th at 5 p.m. Pacific time will be our Patreon exclusive holiday party slash kickback. So we'll hang out, talk to the pimples, the Patreon pimples and princesses and princes, and we will talk about just various things and hang out and have a good little laugh. And it's exclusive. And if you can't make it, we're going to record it and have it on the Patreon as well for people to view later if they want to.
Yeah, speaking of that, if you want to support us and listen to bonus material, each episode of this show has an extended version. I would call it a 12-inch remix or a DJ. In DJ talk, it would be like, the extended, DJ remix. It's not a remix, but we have extended versions of each episode. Those are only available for the Patreon subscribers. And it's really easy. You can access them all right now by going to patreon.com/poundcast.
That's right. And also, there's some more dates. Sorry to bombard you. Not just you, Doug. I mean, everybody listening. But on December 17th, my sister and I are doing an online holiday party / show kind of a thing. That's at 8 p.m. Pacific time. And that's Friday, December 17th. And you can find tickets at rushtix.com, or again, go to my accounts. I'm Brent Weinbach Comedy on Instagram and Brent Weinbach on Twitter. There's links there, so you can find tickets to that. We'll do Christmas stories and songs and fun little holiday themed activities for that. And then one last date I want to mention is December 31st. The New Year's Eve, I'm doing a show at the Grand Lake Theater in Oakland, California, along with Moshe Kasher, Natasha Leggero, Andrew Michon, and also our guests this year are Brandon Wardell and Caleb Heron. And you can get tickets are now on sale, and you can get them at rrfilms.com, or just look up Grand Lake Theater and go to their website, and that's where you can get tickets. And again, or you can go to my accounts and you'll find links there.
Speaking of links, if you go to the link entitled LouisvilleVeganFoods.com, you will be checking out many great products, including Louisville Vegan Jerky, which I'm going to log in right now. Let's see, LouisvilleVeganFoods.com. And it takes you to a beautiful website. And they have maple bacon, buffalo dill, smoked black pepper, smoky Carolina barbecue, perfect pepperoni, some limited edition flavors, and all kinds of other fun stuff. And for Poundcast listeners only, you can get 20% off your entire order. And you will also be having you not only will you have a delicious snack to eat, you will be supporting the Poundcast. And if you come to the Louisville show, you know the jerky's going to be we're going to be flowing the jerky.
Low and hardcore like diarrhea.
That's right. Except it'll
in a
be
good way. In a good way. In a good way. Diarrhea.
Yeah, it won't give. It doesn't. It does. I've eaten it many times. It doesn't. Don't you know? Don't. It doesn't give you diarrhea, Brent.
No, I'm not trying to say that it gives you diarrhea. I'm saying that it will be abundant like diarrhea.
You heard it here first. Yeah, so support our sponsor, LouisvilleVeganFoods.com, or buy it at your local grocery store, your local Whole Foods, your local Sprouts, if you got that in your area. My favorite grocery store these days. And like we always say, Louisville vegan jerky is, it's got a shelf life of 9 months. So you don't have to worry about, you don't have to rush to eat your snack, but it won't be there for 9 months once you take one bite, trust me. And it is bagged in the USA. And, we stand by our product. A lot of companies come to us. They say, Doug and Brent, we'll give you a lot of money. Elon Musk came to us. He said, will you please advertise Tesla on the Poundcast? This is the coolest podcast I've ever heard. We said, no, we're good. Jeff Bezos approached us. He said, can you please you want to do an Amazon partnership? We're like, no, that's fine. We're good. You're doing fine. We just do Louisville vegan jerky. Right, Brent?
Oh, well, right now, yeah, that's all we do. But we've done other stuff in the past too.
Yeah, but those are also great companies that we love. So I guess today will be any other dates you got to mention, Brent?
No other dates, but I have a correction to make, which it will kind of lead into our episode, so I can save the correction for the beginning of when we actually start or whatever.
Okay, so this is going to be things that annoy us and our solutions to them. Part 4, I believe, right, Brent?
That's right. That is right. That's right.
And let's just play the regular Poundcast theme song this week, and we'll get into it. And I have I might have something funny to mention too, but we'll get into it. Should we roll the clip and then get into the show?
Yeah, we're just gonna roll the regular clip, or do we have a new thing? Or...
I forgot to check. I could check if you want.
No, we'll play the regular one. Let's play the regular one. Let's roll the regular one. Yeah.
Roll the regular one.
Okay, go ahead.
Be right back. Doug and Brent talking to each other. Doug and Brent, what will they talk about today? Doug and Brent are talking to some pimples. Doug and Brent will talk to their friends. And Doug and Brent talking on the Poundcast. And here we are. This is the Poundcast, Brent. What do you have to want to kick it off?
Well, I want to kick it off with a correction about a couple episodes ago. We talked, Charlotte Erkerly, who's been a guest on the show a couple times, sent in some annoyances of hers, and there was a little bit of a misinterpretation of what she wrote. One of the things she talked about was, or she wrote about, was when people say that I look like an attractive celebrity, but I don't see it or whatever. And there was a little bit of a debate as to whether or not she meant when people say she looks like that celebrity, and she doesn't see it, or if the person says that they look like a celebrity and that person doesn't see it. Anyway, just to clarify, she meant when a person says that they look like a celebrity, and then they follow it up by saying, but I don't say, or people say I look like this person, but I don't really look like it. Anyway, just wanted to correct that. And for the meant, for the whatever, just to put anyone at ease that might have felt that was wrongly interpreted. But I think the wrong interpretation of what she had written was good, material anyway.
We have a solution for both ways that we thought she said it.
Yeah.
So I have a personal annoyance that I could bring to the show here. And Brent, I'm sure you're gonna love this too, but it's every restaurant you go to has the menus on the phone now. You know what I'm talking about? You're gonna take a picture
I
of
think
that,
I do.
that stupid square.
Oh, that thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you look at the menu on your phone, and then it's like, just let me flip through a menu. But you're not saving the world by not having a menu, or you're not, I don't know. It's like it's not like COVID. People are gonna get COVID by looking at a menu.
Okay.
Have the option. Or if someone doesn't want to touch a menu at all, have it, find some other way. But I'm happy to touch a menu and just let me hand sanitize afterwards or something if I'm really worried about it. Because I don't know, I made this joke. Me and my friend were at a restaurant today, and then we were looking at the menu on our phones. It'd be funny if the menu, if the waiter took our order and he's like, "Okay, I'll just take your menus," and then he takes our phones away.
Anybody leaves one of them, he says, I'll leave. He said, "I'll leave one of them. I'll leave one of them here."
Right.
Or he's, "I'll leave."
Yeah, in case you want any
dessert.
Right. So that's one thing.
Actually, that'd be funny if he gave you a new cell phone.
What's that?
What if he gave you a new cell phone for the dessert later? He said, "Do you want to see our dessert menu?" And he gives you it's an older, iPhone. It's an older model cell phone, or maybe it's an old flip phone or something. Well, let me say this.
How do you feel about that? Because Brent, you probably don't want to touch a menu, and you don't have a phone to look at a menu. So what do you think?
Well, okay, yeah. I mean, see, I'm on both sides in a way. I mean, well, first of all, I kind of like that idea. The menu thing, menus are actually kind of gross even before COVID-19. They're kind of, I actually, this is something I find annoying. Not to switch topics too much, but when people would put your utensils down and then they put the menu right on top of the utensils, I hated that. Or they put it on, even putting it on your plate. Put the menu. Why are you doing that? This is a dirty thing. This has been touched by tons of people. Put it to the side, would you please? Huh? And they're putting them on the plates and on the utensils, and I'm going to put on my mouth. I'm licking a menu here. Okay. Anyway, I always kind of thought that was gross. So I do kind of like that there's no menu, but at the same time, I don't have a phone. And so, yes, true. What am I to do? I can't look at the menu. Well,
I know what to do.
Well, I look at the menu ahead of time at home. And
I often do too, but sometimes it's like, hey, let's go, you're out and about, and it's like, let's grab a bite to eat. How about this place? Right.
Well, what I do is I look at what they should have is a menu posted, so that you can go walk up to a menu and look at what is on there. So I have seen this at a couple places.
They often have that right on the street. You can see it.
There's that where it's in the window, but then I actually went to this place one time where it was on a kind of board, a kind of one of those boards, and you go up there and see what you want, and then you go back home to your seat, and then tell them what you want.
Some places don't have a menu at all, like on a phone or as a thing. It's the wall they dedicate to the menu. It's like almost like a chalkboard.
Yeah,
that's what they should do at every restaurant. Just do that.
Yeah, and you know what? I have a solution for this. Is a solution to both A way to not have a menu and not have to use your phone. You just pare your stuff down at the restaurant, make it so that you only sell certain things for that day, maybe 5 dishes, specialize. And when you specialize, you're going to make that stuff better, right? And then you just, the waiter tells you, well, we have this thing, and we have this thing, this thing, and this thing. And then and then you kind of just, that's it. You just decide what you want. Basically, actually, there is a restaurant like that, the Gardens of Tasco. It's a Mexican restaurant in West Hollywood, and it's a traditional style restaurant where there's no menus. They come up to you and they kind of ask you what you want, and you say, well, what kind of chicken stuff do you have, or whatever, or what kind of vegan options do you have, or whatever, and they'll kind of tell you what they have. Actually, there's House of Nanking in San Francisco is like that too. So
there's many restaurants that have that. Some of them have a fixed menu or something where it's like they're usually expensive, but this is their menu for today, and you're gonna like it. Trust me.
Right. So that's kind of cool. The solutions have been done already, but how can we?
You can also do this if you really don't want to look at a menu on your phone and you don't want to touch one. There's nothing on the wall to look at. Either don't go out to eat, or if you go out to eat, just say to the waiter or waitress, to the server, say, just bring me something good. It's chef's choice. And I promise I will like it.
Right.
Or I won't. If I don't like it, it's my fault that I did this, but I'm going to go for it.
That's pretty adventurous and pretty fun. That's a fun solution.
That's a fun solution.
Or here's another solution. You don't want to touch the menu and you don't have a phone. They say, oh, and sir, what would you like? You say, I'll just have water. Hey, it'll help you lose a few pounds, won't it? That's always good.
Yeah, don't eat.
Keep that body tight. But yeah, what's the solution though? This isn't, say the virus is gone or whatever. They're putting the menus on the plates well, I have my own solution to that, by the way, but
we'll just say, can I have a new plate? You put a dirty menu that 1,000 people touched on there.
Here's what I do. I used to do. When they start putting the menu down, I put my hand up and grab the menu before it hits the table. So it's as if they're giving it to me, and I make sure it doesn't touch it. You just, as soon as you start to see them put that menu down, you just rise your hand up and grab it so they can't touch.
Easy. Yep, I got it.
Another thing you could do if you can
if you want to, what you could do to even the playing field is like, once you leave a tip, just leave the tip on the dirty plate. Be like, hey, an eye for an eye. You can say a mouth for a mouth.
I wonder, or you can just wrap the money over the spoon or over a fork or something like that, a used fork. Yeah.
Put it under like your scraps.
Actually, no, this is what you do.
And then say, think twice about putting the menu on a plate next time.
How about this? You just stick the fork in a cup. You put the fork in a cup and then tuck the money in between the prongs of the fork, and just have it kind of fold it up and put it in the prongs, But the fork looks nasty though. It looks there's gunk on it from when you were eating.
No, order a shake and then leave the last 3 inches left and just jam some cash down at the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh, your tip is in the shake, but leave a big tip too.
How about this? Just, your tip, just you leave a note, right? You leave a note and it says, for tip, it says, go to the bathroom or something like that. Look, for tip, go visit the bathroom. They go to the bathroom and the tip money is draped onto the bowl, onto on the rim of the bowl, or something like that,
But they have to know why. They have to know why you did that. They have to know why you shouldn't have touched my. Just like a little note next to the tip. Shouldn't have put the menu on my plate. An eye for an eye. Mouth for a mouth. We solved that problem. Let's get into what some annoyances people sent here. Well, by the way, here's an annoyance for me. Every time I shoot, like I look so gross. Like, look at you. You have like a nice pink flesh color. I look like ghastly.
Oh,
Especially
you know
when
what
I
it is,
pull
Doug?
up the it's when I pull up the computer screen because I have to look at the things, you know?
Ah, yes. Well, what happens? I'm just curious because I don't have any other screens up besides the the Zoom screen. What else? I mean, what happens if you just have the Zoom screen? I wonder what that looks like.
It's like this. I mean, okay, I can it's okay, but
Well,
if any
hmm,
kind of whiteness comes through,
hmm.
it's like this. Well,
Well,
whatever.
you know
What
what
are you
I've
gonna do?
got? I have a nice.
I need to look at these. So I'm gonna have to just who cares?
That's okay. You can be the bright man.
I'm the bright guy. Okay,
You're the bright man.
Andres says what he's annoyed by is ACDC and Janis Joplin. If someone did a mashup of them, I would kill myself, he says. Um, so I guess he doesn't like raspy kind of rock and roll singers. How can we solve his problem? How
Hmm.
can we solve this problem?
M-
I mean, you
We
don't want
have
to
to make
risk.
his ears.
Yeah, we don't. We have to. He has to avoid any risk of hearing a rock and roll song
I think we
anywhere.
have to sort of mutilate his ears or something.
I think we do. Yeah. We don't want him to kill himself if he hears a Janis Joplin song.
Well, isn't we just want to make sure he doesn't accidentally hear that. So we got to super glue some earplugs in his ears.
That's it. Or he can walk around with the boombox with something he likes and just be playing it at all times. Two speakers right here, aiming towards his ears, one on each shoulder, and always playing something that's not ACDC or Janis Joplin. So he has no chance of hearing that.
But check out this bonus though. If we super glue earplugs in his ears,
Mm-hmm.
not only will he never hear Janis Joplin or ACDC, he'll also be able to sleep all through the day and not have to let any nearby construction wake him up.
That's
So
right. And he can sleep.
you're solving more than one problem there.
Yeah, and you don't have to hear loud Mustang cars or people who chew loudly. You know, these are things that have come up in other episodes. So we could solve a lot of problems by just super gluing some earplugs into this guy's head. I think you're gonna have that's the only
This
option.
guy's, I think this guy's getting glued.
He's getting glued.
You're getting
All right.
glued, buddy.
Let's see here. Furry Eyebrows says he hates dropping change. Now, I don't know if it's just the fact that he drops it or is it the picking up off the floor? Because to me, I don't care about dropping change. I'll drop change all the time. It's the picking up the change of the drop change that I don't want to do. You know, you got to
Huh.
touch that. You got to pick up some coin off the floor, and it's like you got to get your nail under there. If it's a dime, forget about it. How are you gonna? It's almost impossible to pick up a dime.
So you don't
You know.
you mind picking it up, but you don't mind bending over.
I don't want to bend over. I don't want to get down low at all. You
Oh,
know.
okay. So you don't even like the bending over part of it. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the times if I drop it, I'll be like, well, that someone will find that later, and it'll be a fun little prize for them. You know.
Hey, it's a great way to give back to Mother Nature.
Yeah. So that's one solution. Don't like just drop it and don't and think about it as like a gift to Mother Nature.
Just
Those precious metals.
paying back
Yeah.
Mother Nature. Yeah.
Yeah. Precious metals are going back to the earth.
Hey, the paper from the, let's just say it's dollar bills too. The
If you drop
paper,
dollar change,
yeah.
no
Say
one thinks of change as bills, but I guess technically it could be. Yeah.
no, I know that you're talking about coins, but hey, that paper is going back to the tree, giving it back to the trees.
Yeah. But if you don't want to drop it or pick it up, or if you're worried about dropping it, I have an invention in my mind. It's like, imagine an umbrella, but it's upside down, and the umbrella part folds up around your body, so it kind of looks cool. And then anytime you're going to deal with a cashier or exchanging change, or change is coming out, you're pulling out your wallet, you unfurl the umbrella, and it's a perimeter that goes out as far as your hand will reach, and it'll just collect any change that might fall,
This
and
is
it would
great.
like slide right on down to your waistline.
Brilliant.
And it's just a brilliant idea, mate.
It funnels all the change into one section, and then at the end of the day, you get to see all of your savings, all in one little pouch.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what
that
that
makes you
would look?
want it. What should we call that? The coin
Well,
umbrella, or
you'd
the
call it the change pooch, and basically the reason it's called the change pooch is because the umbrella part kind of comes up and it makes it look as though you have a pooch. You know what I mean? It's over your kind of pelvic area, basically, right?
uh
And it makes it look like you have a sort of swollen pelvic area, kind of like a pooch. And
and if you want to be exciting, you can get the one that goes below your legs, so it has kind of like little garters, little kind of gaskets that go around your legs, so the coins won't fall through between. And then if you don't wear underwear, like the coin umbrella, it's fine. But then if someone's like, "Hey, you want some change back?" They might get a little treat,
well, it's
and
like
that thing unfurls.
right, they have to get it's it's like, you want some change? Here's your change, and then you just open it up and it is right there, right sort of right there,
Yeah, it's right
kind of
there.
almost like the tip, actually, it's like the tip
Oh, you want a
position.
tip? Yeah,
You want a
hold on.
tip? Here you go.
That's the tip you can leave for that waiter that puts the menu. A lot of these inventions go work for multiple
They're crossover. Yeah,
products.
they cross over, yeah.
They cross over. Okay, so that's solved. I think we can come up with a better name. How about
The coin
the
pooch.
coin, the coin cunt?
The co- or how about the yeah, well, okay, the coin cunt. Yeah, that works, yeah.
Wait, hold on. Um, that's kind of a harsh word. I don't.
Right. How about
Some
the
people don't
coin?
like that word at all, and
Right.
I'm
How
sorry
about
if that word offends you, but
the coin count?
sometimes you make mistakes. Sometimes you make mistakes. How about the groin coin, the loin coin?
Oh, that's good. Or the coin
Yeah,
loin.
it's kind of down in your loin.
The coin loin.
Yeah, or just the coin friend. I don't know.
Coin
All right,
friend.
let's go to the next one. The coin friend. Um, Scotty is the thing that's annoying him is it says that it seems like the only way to become a successful content creator on the internet is to move to LA. Now, how does that? Now, how do you figure that, Scotty? Aren't
Well,
there a lot of like popular YouTube content creators from all over, all walks of life, all
there,
over
sh-
the country,
there
right?
sure are. And that's kind of the solution in a way is,
I mean, it's the thing is, it's on the internet. That's not a place.
well, maybe he thinks not for that kind of stuff, but maybe for movies and TV and music and stuff like that. But there's a lot
He
of
says a
musicians.
content creator on the internet.
Oh, he does? Well, okay, the solution is bring Los Angeles to you. In other words, use the internet.
I think, we should probably talk to Scotty a little more,
About
kind of
his
figure out.
options.
I would like to know what he's doing. Is he making music, or is he just making, what kind of content is he doing? Because there's content. Maybe he's not good enough. Maybe he's maybe he's not been at it long enough or something either. I don't know.
Yeah, I will say that most content creators on the internet live everywhere in the world. But, and But maybe, and
I'm
that's the
looking them up
power of
right.
the internet. But maybe I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to put myself in his shoes. And maybe, okay, Los Angeles. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. It just seems like there's no problem there. I
Okay,
think
I'm
this.
looking at his account. His account is private. Okay. So maybe don't make it private. Maybe it's not for him. Maybe he's
The
complaining on behalf
solution.
of maybe it's
That's
he's complaining on behalf of someone else. I don't know.
the solution is make your account public so that
Yes, there you go,
there it
Scotty.
is. Yeah.
There you go. Make it available.
Make it
You know?
available to be seen.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to Brendan here. Um, over analyzing text where as a phone call, verbal communication wouldn't elicit such a overwhelming situation. I think that's a kind of complicated way of saying you should just make a phone call, because sometimes if you get a text and you're trying to interpret it, okay, that's a dumb one. Make the phone call. Don't do text.
Well, yeah. But let's say, right, don't do the text. Or,
Say like, Brent, okay, I'll give you a text that might seem complicated. Say, hey, you didn't give me an answer yet. Do you want to go to that show tonight? Ask me that.
hey, hey, it seems complicated. You didn't give me an answer. What, do you want to go to that show tonight?
Lowercase k dot dot dot.
Oh, it's that was the phone call.
No, that would be my text. So how would you interpret that text, that response?
Oh,
Like I could say, Brent, if you called me, I'd be like, all right, look, um, I don't really want to go, but you keep asking, so you're not taking the hint. So yeah, I guess I'll go. I'll go. Okay. I said I'll go earlier last month, but now the date's here. I don't want to do it, but I'll go. Okay.
it's funny because okay,
But that also could mean like,
it could mean this.
it could mean,
It could mean this,
it could mean sounds good. Like it could mean like, oh shit, Brent's taking. Yeah, it sounds good.
or
Uh,
it could mean this. It could mean K K dot dot dot. Let's go. Dot dot dot. We're going. You know what I mean?
right.
K. I'm the dot 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 implying leading to our next steps here. Which, hey, you know who I just realized you look like,
So
Doug?
also, if you want to do texting, hold on, Brent. I have another solution here. If you don't want to do phone call, but you want to do texting, just over text. Explain yourself, overly explain it all to the max.
Well,
Type it all out. And if you're confused about if you're trying to analyze a text, you just got to be like straight up, like, okay, like, does that mean you want to go? Or are you excited to go or not? Because I'm over analyzing it and it's driving me nuts over here.
you know what? People just need to be a little more clear with their writing.
Straightforward, clear, honest,
And just say, and if you don't
and
understand
clear.
something, ask for clarification. Say, hey, do you mean when people say you look like the celebrity that is attractive and you don't get it, or
Yeah.
that when they say that?
Right. They got to be more clear when they write something out. They got to be more clear.
What do
That's
you,
for
and
sure.
if they're not clear, you got to ask. You know what, Pete? That's the solution. Don't be afraid to ask.
Don't be afraid to ask.
You got to
But
ask.
also, if you have a friend, or maybe he's talking about a date or someone he's trying to go out with, and he's not getting the clear answer he wants, just say, get rid of him. Say, I gotta find someone who's more clear. I don't need this. I don't need to be over analyzing text in my life. I don't have the bandwidth for that. Next. What's next?
You know, you could also
Jordan.
yeah. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead. Oh, I was just gonna say. You know who you
You
look
got
like?
another
by the way?
solution? Go for it. You got another solution?
No, it's not. Well, I sort of did. It doesn't matter. It's not good though. Here's the thing though. You know who you look like? I'm just realizing. Who do you think
Kevin
I think
Bacon.
you look like? It's a
Probably
new, huh?
Kevin Bacon.
No, think about somebody you actually do maybe look like. And I've never said it before until now.
I'm trying to let me look.
Whatever. You won't know. It's
Who?
the host of the Hot Ones show.
I don't watch that.
I don't watch it either, but I happened to, for some reason, come across a clip recently, and I didn't think, oh, that guy looks like Doug. But then looking at you now, I'm thinking, oh, you look like that guy. His name is Sean.
You know who he looks like? He looks like bald Justin Timberlake.
Mm,
So I'll take that as a compliment, but I don't look like him at all.
you should say, I don't get it.
His eyes look more like
I don't
He
see
looks
it.
more
I don't
like
see it.
Captain Capart.
You
You
should
know
say,
what? Everyone thinks I look like Sean Evans, but I don't see it.
there you go. There you go.
There you go. Okay, here's a driving one from Jordan. When people don't know how to use a merge lane. Um,
Merge lane.
Easy. You follow that driver, and
While I'm home.
yeah. First of all, you write up a pamphlet like how to merge. You know,
Right.
you do your research, you print it out, you make it. You go to Kinko's, you go to FedEx Kinko's, you have it spiral bound. You have a stack of those in your trunk. When somebody's like merging wrong and they don't know how to get over right, and they cut you off, or they don't know how to yield because they're supposed to yield, you know, stuff like that. You follow them to where they're going all the way, whether
All
it's
the way.
all the way. When you finally catch up to them, say, "Hey, I mean no harm. I 4 hours ago you were merging onto the Kennedy Expressway, and I know we're in St. Louis now, and that was back in Chicago, but I noticed you didn't know how to merge, so I have this helpful pamphlet for you. So just go ahead and thumb through it, and you know, I just want you to be safe, and I want all the drivers out there to be safe."
And then while we're at it, do you have any advice for me? Because I have a 4 hour trip to get back to my place of where I was going.
I'm 4 hours late.
I might need something to reflect on, while I go over there. Anything for me? Any notes are over here?
And it's like, um, yeah. And I texted my friend, and she asked if I was going to be there 4 hours ago. And I said, driving.
Dot, dot, dot.
I said, driving, dot, dot, dot. And I need to be more clear. Do you have any tips for me? Maybe you're not good at merging, but maybe you're better at communication, because
And
we all have our faults, you know?
and then the guy says, "Well, I don't really have a tip, but it's more of an observation. You ever see that web series called Hot Ones? Kind of look like that guy." Um,
What's up with that show? So they just eat hotter and hotter spicy stuff while being interviewed. Wings,
yeah.
chicken wings. That's disgusting. I stand against everything that show represents.
I'm sure I mean, I don't watch the show, but I think that I would imagine that they have vegan wings
Okay.
for
But
people who want vegan wings.
you know what I have a problem with, Brent? I got some free hot sauces like a year and a half ago. Never
Hmm.
opened them. And I'm not really a hot sauce guy, especially, I mean, I have my brand. I like the green Tabasco.
Hmm.
Put that on all my Mexican food like crazy. But what am I going to do with these unopened? I don't have the heart to, what am I going to give them away? They look like cool artisan handmade mom and pop hot sauces that someone gave me. They're sealed, you know, they have a nice, it's not like
Oh,
they've been opened.
were they all in the same packet,
Um,
or is it a collection of different
it's a
ones?
collection of different, you know, 3 or 4 of them I just have. And I have like limited shelf. So you can kind of see some space back there, but I was doing some spring cleaning, trying to get my, what do I do? That's an
Is it-
annoying thing I'm dealing with now, Brent.
Okay, what do
It's
you
a really
do?
big problem.
I got the solution.
Oh, maybe I contact my doppelganger, gainer, Sean Evans. I'll be like, Sean, I got some new hot sauces for your show. Free
Well,
sauces.
I mean, my solution was going to be I start your own show where you interview people while eating foods with, they could be vegan foods too, by the way.
Spicy bites with Doug.
Yes. Spicy things.
Spicy things with Doug.
Yeah, something like that, or something like that.
I can
And
do, on After Dark. Remind me, I'll go get them. They're just right in the kitchen there. All right, let's move on. So we solved Jordan's problem with the mergers. Um, something that always annoys me is, this is from Brandino.
oh, Brandino.
Brandino. Something that always annoys me is having to maintain a car. I hate driving, paying for gas, and paying for random repairs that spring update every year. I live in Maine, so a car is a must-have because things are so spread out. I mean, my first solution, before we said Maine, was going to be this. This is my electric bike right here. I ride this thing all the time because I hate driving a car. I have a car when I need it, when I have to drive to Maine. But around town, I'm riding this thing like crazy. But Maine probably gets cold in the winter, and you probably can't do that.
It's also maybe too far. The solution,
Brandino, the solution, Brandino. How about this? Get rid of your car and see what happens. Huh?
well,
Or
I got an idea, Brandino.
number two?
Number two is, it's an add-on to number one that you said. You ready?
Leave me.
What?
Well, okay. My first thought is, like, get out of Maine, get somewhere where you can just go to a big city where you can just walk. You don't need a car. Public transportation. What was your thing, right? These aren't
Get
that
rid
great
of your
things.
car
Yeah.
and buy a better one. No more fixing it up, it takes care of itself, pretty much. But buy it.
Yeah.
Look at,
I mean, well, he doesn't like to maintain it. He doesn't like to drive or pay for gas.
okay, buy a
Okay.
Tesla.
Don't drive. Get a drive. Okay. Get a driver. Don't pay for gas. Steal it. Or get an electric car. Okay. Get an electric
Tesla.
car. Yeah. Get an electric car. Don't have to pay for gas. Okay. So that one's covered. You don't like driving? Hit the self-drive button. Save up for a Tesla, and you're good to go. And you don't want to pay for random repairs that spring up every year. You get a brand new Tesla, you're good for a few years. They're going to cover they're going to have a nice warranty. Done.
You're good to go, man. So the big solution for you, Brandino, is Tesla. Teslino.
And even though we turned down a big sponsorship from Elon, we still recommend that's a solution for Brandino.
We still can't deny that being a solution.
Brandino. All right. Look, in the summer, everything's spread out. Get one of these in the winter. Cross country skis.
Well,
wait, don't go anywhere.
How about
this? Don't go anywhere.
No. It's like this. Look, in the summer, get a bike. In the winter, get a Tesla.
And then you live in Maine, you live on the coast, get a boat. That's a seafaring people, the Mainers. Correct?
Well,
imagine living in Maine and living not at the sea, at the beautiful, dramatic coastline. Imagine living inland in Maine. What would the point of that be? Right?
Well, tell that to people in, I don't know, central.
Imagine if you lived in Hawaii, and you're like deep. You're not
in the center.
You're in the center.
You're in the volcano. You're in the volcano.
You're like next to a volcano.
I
think, Brandino, you got to think about your surroundings. What are you doing? What are you doing in Maine?
You know what Maine stands for?
Are you a lobsterman?
A lobsterman.
All right, let's move on.
Oh, you know what Maine is short for, right?
What?
It's short for mariner. It's just you know what I mean? It's short for mariner. They take the R out, they take the
Yeah.
They take the two R's out, and
Yeah.
then you got Maine. Put the R's back in, you got Maine or Mariner.
It's like imagine living. I'm trying to think of where else.
Imagine living in, well, I mean, there's people in California probably that don't see the ocean sometimes,
Well, that's California is so big that kind of doesn't count because you have mountains where there's no ocean. You have um yeah, but I mean to me it's like imagine I think that might be different. I don't know.
You
Look,
know
I'm
what's
just
weird?
don't ruin my joke. My
No, I'm
my
not, but I'm actually going to add on to it or something. That a lot of major cities usually are near water because of probably trading and stuff like that, right? You know what's weird though? The capital of Spain is Madrid, and that is right in the center of Spain, not near water.
yeah, there's a lot of cities that don't really make sense. It's like why
That's a
is it
weird
here?
one. How did that happen?
Yeah, it's like how did Madrid get started? Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe they were staying, maybe that was like during wartime and that was a place that there was no resources that they're like, no one's gonna find us here. And after the war was over, they're like, well, we're here now. I guess we gotta stay.
That was their
No one can
solution.
attack us by boat. No one can attack us by
It's almost like that was a solution. Hey, we're vulnerable on all these different waterfronts here. Let's go. The solution is let's move central. They go central. They feel settled there. What's the solution? Let's just own it. So
I had to
pretty
do a
good.
quick little search on Madrid, but it was a military outpost, Brent. I was kind of right. It was a walled military outpost in the left bank of the Manzanares, which was a river.
Oh,
But
okay. Well, there's
maybe that was like, that's in the ninth century. So
okay, but
maybe
get this though. I mean, there might be a river there, sure,
they
but
just
there's no ocean. There's no big ships coming through, right?
yeah, there's not a there's no yeah, it looks like a small river. I don't think there's trade.
Yeah. I mean, if you were going to trade with Spain, that's a tough, or trade with Madrid. That's a not worth the trip, probably.
Oh, dude, this okay. Here's a new one, Brent. Um, this person's called SB.
Yes, B.
He's got a few things that he's annoyed by. Droopy socks, just pull them up already. That's what he says. Droopy socks, just pull them up. Pull them up. SB, how about this? If you don't like droopy socks, you pull them up. Go up to someone and be like, "You want me to get these?" You lean down. You're like, "Excuse me, mind if I get those?" You do it for them. Offer.
That's great. I love it. Or you can just point out. You can say to them, "Excuse me, your ankles are showing."
Oh, I got one. SB.
Kind of
Teach
like your
yourself
butt,
to
like your
puke.
butt crack is showing.
All right. Teach yourself to puke on command. And like anytime you see droopy socks, just be like, "Excuse me," and then you look down. You're like, "Bro, I'm sorry. I just noticed your droopy socks, and that made me sick. I gotta go."
How about this? What if you start talking like Droopy the dog, and they say, and they say, "Why are you talking like that?" You say, "Well, you wear droopy socks, and I get to talk like Droopy the dog," or whatever. I don't know how the voice goes, but
I think that's right. He's like, "Give me
yeah,
droopy."
you have been a little bit like this.
Well, you wear droopy socks. Why can't I like droopy?
And then you kind of go like, or you could do this. You could say this. You go like, hey, yo, how's it going? Yo, how's it going? And they say, why are you talking like that? I said, yo, well, you guys droopy socks, I'm gonna talk like, Sylvester Stallone, because I with droopy eyes, because you gonna have droopy socks, I gotta have droopy eyes, Adrian. Something like that.
or just simply go like this. Hey, just start talking to me, Brent. Like
Oh
you
yeah.
just
So
saw.
anyway, I got to the shore, the boat, and we had to go travel through the river to get to the city. Doug,
Yeah.
something. What's going on?
You get to wear droopy socks. Why can't my whole body droop? It doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you? It's like you get to do that. Like,
I know. It's
all,
like
all these are like they're like scorekeeping. It's like you get to do that. Well,
it's
I
like if
can't.
you get to do that, then how come I don't get to do this? It's so stupid and immature. So childish.
It's like one of my favorite lines from Poundhouse, where it's like, "Well, you got to bring you get
Yeah,
to
you
bring your
got to
mom.
be.
Don't I get to bring my son?"
Yeah.
And then he goes, "I'm his mom. I'm his mom." Okay, so he's got. You want to hear? He's got a couple other good ones in here. Close talkers. I think we kind of discussed close talkers in the last ones, or at least, yeah, like when somebody's talking about a bee, they keep coming
Okay, but
closer and closer.
more going
How
off
about
this.
you? You go close to them. They come close to you. Go real close. You go
Well,
in.
here's what I. This is how. Well, here's my variation on that. Was this is it's kind of going off of this theme of you get to do this, I get to do that.
Yeah.
So someone starts talking close, you start talking right to their crotch, really close. Just
Yeah.
it's like, well, you get to get close to my face. I should be able to get close to
Don't
your
I get to get close to your crotch?
I get to get close. I should be able to get close to your crotch, right? It's like, well, if you get to get close to my face, then I should be able to get close to your crotch or your butt. Start talking to their butt.
No, you just go. If you go to their butt, they'll chase you down. What if they chase you down there?
Well, then you just end up in an endless loop, where you're kind of repositioning it's like a tail snake eating its own tail or something. Yeah.
Okay, now here's one that I'm glad somebody brought up, because this does drive me crazy, but
Is
it's
this
only
SB?
like, huh?
Is this
Still
SB?
SB, yeah. I need some like milk to like demonstrate. I got some tea here, but what he says is that terrible sound when someone's accumulating phlegm, when they're talking. That throat clearing sound, he says, before they're about to hock a loogie. Oh, I got it different. I have another thing similar. The terrible sound when someone's accumulating phlegm, the throat clearing sound. So they go, so they hate the. That is gross.
Yeah. My solution to that is
I have I know some of that kind of
Well,
they kind of talk like it sounds like they have milk in their mouth. And it kind of goes in the back of the throat. Like
it sounds like it's like swallow and speak normal. I know someone that it sounds like they just drank milk, and it's like,
hey, look.
I know I've heard that. I know that kind of.
you know what I'm talking about. I'm not doing it right, but it's like a deep throat like vibration. It sounds like there's like goo on their vocal cords.
It's always there.
Dampening it.
It's always
but
there.
If you had that, you could just like you could just get excuse me, just pop it off.
Okay, here's the solution.
Yeah.
Give
I got
them
a solution too.
Well, I have two solutions. One solution is move to China. Okay? Because in China people do that all the time. Not the thing you were talking about, but what he was talking about.
Oh, right. The hocking a loogie sound.
They do that all the time, that it'll become normalized to you and you'll get used to it, The other solution is bend them down and say, I think you need CPR. You give them CPR and just try to suck the goo out of them.
Ooh.
Well, maybe they suck the goo.
I get it. I have one. Oh, you know what? Move to China could be the guy from Maine too. It's like move to China. They're all on bikes. Although now the bikes are kind of working their way out and it's kind of all cars now. Move to a bike-friendly society such as Amsterdam or something, where everyone's biking around. Get out of Maine. Go to Amst.
Go to Amsterdam, get a bike and just drive. You can just wheel your way through the red light district that easily.
Yeah. Get a tandem bike in case you want to go to the red light district.
Right. Get a tandem bike. Yeah,
Bring
exactly.
a date home.
Well, yeah.
So Brent, I have a solution for this guy.
Or you could bring a date to the red light district.
Right. Somebody's like clearing throat, their phlegm. You can go. I'm just thinking of something crazy. No, put your face down by their crotch. They're like, what are you doing? Well, you get to make that gross sound. Don't I get to look at your crotch? Or just do the same thing, like back at them.
No, or just do this.
No, do something equally irritating.
Well, just
say, well, you get to do that. Don't I get to do this?
Well, how about this?
I know it. Have gum at all times, and just like spit the gum on their shoes or something. Say, well, you got to clear your throat.
Well, how about this? They start going. Ugh. You start talking in an Arabic accent, and they'll say, "Why are you talking like that?" And you say, "Well, you get to make that hawking sound with your throat. I get to talk in an Arabic accent."
Say, I thought you were talking to me like with the accent. So I was trying to talk with an accent, with a country that speaks with the back of the throat.
It's pretty good. Pretty good, Doug.
This guy says James Corden. James Corden is something that annoys him. Joe.
Well, when this episode comes out, our friend just was on it this week.
Yeah, Andrew Michon will be on this week. So
it was on this week. I mean,
right.
When this episode comes out.
Watch his episode. He's our friend. So maybe you'll learn to like James Corden a little bit because a Poundcast alumni member will have been on the show.
I got it. The solution to liking James Corden is James Corden have Doug and me be on the show in some capacity, and then I think you'll find the show you won't be annoyed by it.
Joe, contact James and say you want Doug and Brent on it.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll learn to like him.
Well, not just that. I think you won't learn to. I think you won't be able to help but like James Corden if he listens to you and has us on.
Yeah.
So
learn to love it. Kind of like the last episode. Learn to love it.
Right. But I think more this one is you get to. Now I did, I think that's more this episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Maybe there's a solution in that sense for James Corden, Well, you get to if you get to James Corden, if James Corden gets to be James Corden, then I get to be David Letterman or something like that, or maybe just change your name. Oh, that's it. Change your name to Craig Ferguson. Joe.
Change the name. What's his name?
James Corden.
No, change your name to James Corden's #1 fan. And then you keep saying your name to people. Hey, what's your name? I'm James Corden's #1 fan. Sooner or later, you'll learn to love. You'll be like, you can't help. You psych yourself into liking him. Learn to love it.
Well, you could say, well, if he gets to be James Corden, then I can be Craig Kilborn.
How does that help him? Like,
just just a way for him to reason it out.
Right. He's a colleague. Right. I don't know what to do about Joe. We got this other guy, Hammy Bobo.
I don't know what to do about Joe. We got this other guy, Hammy Bobo.
Okay, so Hammy Bobo, he says when people act like life is just a movie and they're the main character.
Wait, when what?
Sorry.
I mean that's funny because that's what happened to me. That's why I asked you to repeat. Okay, basically Doug and I were messaging each other just now because we were trying to figure out how long we've been going.
Right.
And so while he
I
asked
guess
me
we could have
something,
just said it. We could have just asked.
we
on
could
the
have just
show. Who
said it,
cares?
yeah, because he asked me a question while I was reading what he asked. He asked me how long I've been going, and I was looking at that question while he asked me this new question, and that's why I said, and then I responded to him saying, I don't know, it's hard to tell, because we had some stops and goes because there were some technical issues, and then I said, oh wait, what did you say again? And then he saw my message, and then he was reading that, and then he couldn't respond anyway. It just, we should have, you know what, Doug? This was like the texting situation where the person wrote, it's kind of like we could have just been clear and just said, oh, hey.
Yeah, let's just not send each other secret messages during the show. We'll just talk about it, let the listeners know what we're talking about.
Right.
We're transparent. And okay, look, Hammy Bobo, I have a perfect solution for this. When people act like life is just a movie and they're the main character, you act like you're the director.
Great. I love it.
Like, cut. Okay, we'll tomorrow. Go back to your trailer. Just get rid of them. Well, say, we're wrapped. That's a wrap. That's a wrap on him today. All right, that's a wrap on Brent. Like if it was you, I'd be like, cut. Brent, that was perfect. That's a wrap on you. You can go. That's a wrap on Brent. And then like you're gone. And then
that's the thing. Yeah, exactly, Doug. It's
life.
And then they say, what are you talking about? They say, he say, well, this is your movie. This is you're starring in this movie, right? Okay, well, it's my film. I wrote it and I directed it, and I decide what happens.
No, you say, well, you get to be the main character. Don't I get to be the director? You know, throw that back at him. Well, if you get to be the main character, why can't I be the director?
Well, how about this?
Or you could be like, oh, you could be the makeup person.
Or you could be casting.
Come in and just start touching up their face with a brush, with like foundation, you know? Sorry, just coming in for a little touch up. And they're like, what are you doing? It's like, well, you're acting like the main character in your film.
Yeah, and I'm seeing a little shine here. So.
And I'm seeing a little bit of blemish right here. I'm seeing your bags under your eyes. You just start like saying they're looking bad and stuff. Start fixing their hair.
How about cast? You come in as casting also? Say, hey, well,
I'm the main character. Don't I get to be the makeup department?
Well, I'm casting, and so I'm going to cast myself as your husband.
Oh, right.
So I'm your husband now.
In the movie.
Yeah,
we have a sex scene coming up too. You want to do it for real?
Are you method like me? I heard you were method. Hey, you're method like me, right?
We method, right?
That's a funny thing to say if you're doing a sex scene in a movie to somebody. Like you whisper in their ear, "Hey, you're method, right?" You're about to do this really intimate scene. Man, it's crazy, man. There's these scenes in movies sometimes. Let's just go off on this tangent. Let's close on this tangent for the episode, okay? There's scenes in these movies, these sex scenes, and they're not even movies that have a lot of sex in it, but they're so graphic sometimes. I just think, man, some people are really willing to do certain things that I would never do and show their bodies in certain ways.
I wouldn't even be able to direct something like that. I would just be so embarrassed, and I would feel bad for asking these actors to do stuff like that. Like
it's so hardcore,
right?
Well, yeah. I mean,
what can you name a movie?
There's two movies that come to mind.
Which one?
Well, you saw it. You saw one of them definitely recently.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And it's very
Debbie Does Dallas. We saw that. We went together at the midnight
Deep Throat.
We were the only two in the theater.
Deep Throat, yeah. Yeah. Oh, you saw? Yeah, you were there. Deep Throat. It was you and me. Remember, we were sitting next to each other.
Yeah, you and me. I was behind you.
Yeah, you were behind me. Like holding me. You were holding me my shoulder at certain points. But no. Okay, there was. I don't know. I can't really. One of them. Here's the thing. I know someone who was in one of the movies that I'm thinking of right now, and it's just I don't know. This person
was in the that did a sex scene.
Yeah, and it's very revealing, kind of, and it's weird. I know the person, and it's weird that I've seen them in this situation, and I don't know, it's just interesting. But I know that she's very comfortable with that kind of stuff, and I think she likes to do it. I think maybe I
I think
don't know.
actors, actors are kind of like sometimes they don't mind letting it all hang out. They crave it.
Right. They're not.
They're
right,
fine with it. So
yeah,
if they're down.
I'm not a
not?
big fan of nudity in movies, to be honest. I mean, except for
I don't
penises, but
I'm not a big fan of like extended like love scenes or sex scenes. It's sort of like
it's
it
gratuitous.
doesn't unless there's something happening in there that's part of the story or like something. Usually it's just like, it's just I don't mind when it's like they kiss and then it's like what's gonna happen to the camera kind of pans up to the sunset. Get on with the movie.
Pans up to the moonlight.
You know what 007's up to? You don't need to.
Yeah, I don't. Here's the thing. I don't even see what this serves except for just to sexually excite people. There's no other purpose of this. It's, hey,
Right.
And if someone wants to be sexually excited, go watch a porno. Go watch Debbie Does Dallas, like me and Doug.
Yeah, me and Brent, we like to get sexually excited. We go Debbie Does Dallas.
Go watch Debbie Does Dallas in a theater with your friend, if you want to get sexually excited. But seriously, most of these shows, and the show Succession right now on HBO, you don't probably watch that, right?
You know what? I think I watched the first season or two like a while back, but I know everyone's talking about it now. Like it's the new thing. Everyone. Basically I got to catch up. At least 1 or 2 seasons. I don't know.
Well, my one thing about it is
sex.
No,
I can't wait to watch it.
something I really appreciate about the show is there's no sex in it, even though there easily could be, and there's no nudity really for the most part. There's pretty much no nudity and no sex, and there could be, and it's HBO, and there's nothing they don't, and I think that, hey, I like that. I think that's really cool. I think it's cool when stuff doesn't have sex scenes or doesn't have nudity because I don't need it.
That's
I don't
weird.
need that.
That's weird that a show called Succession doesn't have any nudity.
That's weird that a show called Succession doesn't have any nudity. Succession.
No, mine was better. Succession. It's like suck session.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking of that, but you're right.
Okay, well, let's wrap up the main episode.
Success.
Things are busy these days. The holidays, I'm cramming on these holiday weeks, dude. I'm gonna have to take the Christmas week off.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind. Poundcast might take a break that week.
Could be, unless I do it on my own.
But look, once again, if you want to keep listening, we're gonna keep talking. I have plenty of more annoying problems we're gonna solve in the After Dark segment. If you want to listen to the After Dark, just sign up for our Patreon, and you can listen to it right now. And you can listen to all the other extended episodes at patreon.com/Poundcast. And be sure to see us in Appleton, Wisconsin, January 20th, January 21st at the Hideout, January 22nd at Zanzibar in Louisville, Kentucky. And quick shout out to our interns. These are the team that are working behind the scenes, Poundcast. They're basically our Poundcast team. We're talking about Jackie Montana, Chloe Bonilla, and Jack Birch. You can follow Jack Birch on Instagram, l.bircho. And thank you to Louisville Vegan Foods, as always, louisvilleveganfoods.com. Use the code word Poundcast for 20% off. You understand, Brent? You understand?
You understand? You understand?
I've been saying that a lot. You know how people go like, know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I go, you understand?
Yeah, it's funny because it sounds like a gangster, My name is Rico, see, you understand?
Yeah, I say that about like my minor things. I'm always like, you understand? Like it's some serious thing. I'm like, I'm gonna be in aisle 3. I'm gonna go pick up the rice cakes, then I'll meet you in the produce. You understand?
That's kind of funny. It's a new way of saying, it's your own unique way of saying, you know what I'm saying? And I like that.
Yeah, understand.
Yeah, well then after this I'm gonna get a taco, you understand?
All right. Well, we're gonna be
talking.
Yeah, for this and other new vernacular, check out the Poundcast After Dark. Any last words, Brian?
And otherwise, we'll see you next week. You understand?
You understand? We'll see you next week. Peace.